Hey y'all, it's your girl Show and back for another book video. Today we're talking about 5 individual books that could be movies. Okay, now I do have one that's not necessarily a book, it's a book series, but I'll explain then. You'll understand if you've read those books. The first book that we have is Wahala by Nikki May. If you like drama, okay, and you have not heard of or read that book, go read it now. Them Friends would be a perfect, like, multiple POV, but blended story, kind of comedy drama movie. Okay, I would go see Wahala in theaters. Easily. No questions asked. Okay, especially because there's the main characters, then you either have some of them that have relationships, those stories, their relationships with them, the side friends, and there's this girl coming along. I'm not about to spoil the book, but let me tell you, this is not a book about spice. This is a book about drama. And I mean, they put the capital D in it. So this would be perfect for a movie, not a TV show, because I don't think it needs to last that long, but it would be a nice movie. Perfect, good director, get on it, absolutely. The next one we have is Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. Now the reason why, even though this is kind of like on the longer end of books, it's not super long, it's not crazy long or anything, but I think it would still be better as a movie than a TV show. And the reason why is because I would honestly want someone like Ryan Coogler to do this book. Like, I would want him to direct. I would want him to do all the things. Make it like, give it the Black Panther vibes, but with fantasy, because Our Vicious Oath is a fantasy. And he would absolutely bring the Fae and the different courts to life. I 1000% would love to see it. I mean, the fan casting that I could do for this, I mean, we would be here all day, so I'm not going to do it. But this would be perfect as a movie. If you haven't heard of Our Vicious Oaths, it is a fantasy romance, I guess, a romantasy that has good amount of conflict. I actually really like it. I mean, obviously there's the tensions between the female main character and the male main character, and you know, there's a bit of hunching in it, but I think still, even without the hunching, it would be a really nice book. And as someone who's not super into fantasy, or someone who's doesn't know all there is to know about like fae, fairies, and all the different fantastical creatures, this book was actually really good. Did I have to look up things sometimes so I could be like, I never heard of this term? Absolutely. Because like I said, I don't know everything there is to know about fantasy. But this was a great book, and it would be great as a damn movie. So next we have a shorter book. This is actually a novella, but that's why I actually think it would be really great as a movie, because the director could do so much with it. It could fill in the blanks or add to it a little bit, which I don't necessarily think there needs to be a ton added to it in the beginning, but it could be a lot added on the back end, towards the end of the story. Take It Off by Ashley Nicole was so good. I enjoyed this short, lovely read. I loved the conflict in it. Okay, the way the two characters, the male main character and the female main character, had this kind of agreement that wasn't being enacted by the female main character, because she was not feeling herself enough for me. And he was like, you know what? Let's wrap this shit up. Because imagine, I'm going to give y'all the premise. Imagine you make this agreement with this guy that you kind of been loving on for a while. He's kind of been loving on you, but since college or whatever, and y'all just never decided to get together. Y'all just been kind of hunching on each other every once in a while, and you have this promise that anytime you guys are in the same vicinity where you guys can actually do something with each other, that you would tell the other person. And she was not doing that, but guess what? She ends up seeing him in close proximity, and she ain't got no choice. And what that man said, he said, all right, tell your friends goodbye. Let's go. You're coming home with me. It would be great. Honestly, there's so much that someone could do with this. This would be a great romance, not a romance comedy, but it would be a nice romance. And honestly, I think they could do it in like the format of The Photograph with Issa Rae. If you haven't watched that movie, I definitely recommend it. It was a nice kind of wholehearted thing. I think a director could turn this story into something like that, and I would love to see it. Something that could kind of feel lovey-dovey, timeless, but still kind of light. I think that's what this book kind of gives. So hear me out. The next book is a series, and it's the Curvy Girl Summer series. But the reason why it's on this list for movie adaptations, because if you've read those 3 books, then you know that all of these things are happening at the same time, even though it's a series. So Curvy Girl Summer, Plus Size Player, and Big Girl Blitz, which I actually haven't finished yet. All of these things are happening at the same time. So that's why I think it would be a good movie, because we could have multiple paths, but it doesn't need to be super long. I also think it would be a great rom-com, not in the corny sense, but giving something like 35 and Ticking, Think Like a Man, but not corny. Something still vibrant, because Danielle Allen writes vibrant characters. I've loved every single character that she's written so far. I haven't had an issue, even if the characters themselves have issues. But I think this would be perfect for something to premiere on like Paramount, something that you could like sit and watch with your friends on your couch. I think that's the vibe that the series itself creates. So I would want to see that in a movie format from Danielle Allen. Like please. I could watch this with my girls, you know, something like that. Like Curvy Girl Summer gives that. And it would be really fun because the characters that Danielle Allen wrote were really fun. All right, last but not least is a drama, kind of critically acclaimed story, to be honest. Hold You Down by Tracy Brown would be an immaculate movie. Something very gritty. Get someone like Ava DuVernay or somebody to direct or write on it. Like, honestly, I think this book would be such a good movie because it's so realistic. This is one of those books where it's like, hey, you got consequences. This is where the choices you make are determining your life. This is a book that is very realistic, in my opinion, based upon like my own life experiences or things that I know other people have experienced. And Hold You Down did such a great job with character development, with character exploration. I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of this book. It was sad. It was sad. But that's why it would be a good drama, because this is something that, if done right, I could see this winning like an Oscar or something. Like, this is the type of story that, when told in a good way, I mean, it was already told in a great way in the book form, but when told on a movie screen in a good way, these are the type of movies that win awards. You know, this could even be an indie movie, go to like Sundance Festival or something. Like, honestly, this book would be a great movie adaptation. If you have never read it, I highly recommend it, especially if you like to read things that hit close to home. That's a good one. Whether it hits close to home because you experienced it is not what I'm saying, but hits close to home as in it's going to hit your heart. It's going to hit your chest. And you're going to feel it because the relationships that the 2 different generations have in this book and then with each other is well thought out. So honestly, I want to know what you all would want to see in movie format, but I will see you guys next. All right.